I'm delighted to be joined next by Fatimah and Roisin, who are going to tell us a little more about what it is like studying pharmacy at university. Fatimah is currently an undergraduate student and Roisin is a teacher practitioner. Fatimah, thank you so much for joining us today. It's lovely to see you. You've taken your first steps into the exciting world of pharmacy at university. What made you decide to study the degree and be here in Northern Ireland?
That's a great question. I get that quite often. I think my journey really started when I was young. I was part of the Girl Guides, so that kind of kicked off my desire to really give back to the community, be a part of the community. And then all throughout school, I've always really been interested in science, specifically learning about the body, learning about like the cells, how they work, things like that. But it wasn't really until I became a pharmacy assistant when I was 17 that I really got a glimpse into what a pharmacist does firsthand. So I was able to see, how they prepare the medications, how they interact with the patient. But I think my favorite aspect of it all was how they were able to build long-term relationships with the patients and really see them through their health journey. And just the trust that they were able to build with the patients was incredible, because oftentimes the patient would come to the pharmacist as the first port of call, because pharmacists are the most accessible healthcare professional. So I think it was the way that the pharmacist was able to help patients with their health, as well as build the relationship and have that trust, that really kind of pushed me to apply to pharmacy school and pursue that as a career.
And you've come from Canada to Belfast. You're studying the course here. How are you finding it? Is there anything in particular that you love, you want to share with us?
Yeah, no, it's been incredible. It's my third year here. I definitely can say that I would call Northern Ireland a second home. Everyone has been so kind to me, and the surroundings are beautiful. I'm up on the north coast, so I get to have the Giant's Causeway, the beaches, and then whenever I want to kind of get a kind of familiar sense of home, I come down to Belfast, and that's like my home away from home, where it's like the city and the Titanic and everything, so just so lovely.
Love that. And the course, anything in particular that you're loving about that? Of course, all of it, but any particular key points?
Definitely, yeah. So I think my favorite aspect of the course is the practical nature of it. So there's different times that we get to do things that are very hands-on. So we've got labs, we have pharmacy practice practicals, where we have a model pharmacy on campus that we can go and do mock counseling, dispensing, things like that, as well as placements, where we actually go into community pharmacies, into the hospital, or even industry, and meet the pharmacists where they're at and see what they do on a daily basis, and then also apply what I've learned in class to real life patients, real life scenarios. So that's been really great as well.
And you literally just did an exam this morning before you came here.
Yes.
I'm sure it's a very demanding degree. How do you balance your time?
It is definitely demanding. We are becoming medicine experts, but I think it's totally manageable. Personally, what I do is I just kind of tackle subjects as they come on week by week, instead of letting them build up. And I think the real key for me has been building a good group of friends whom I can study alongside with. And not only are they there to kind of be like my study buddy, but I can also keep motivated that way. But I think most of all, what's really important is having my hobbies and extracurriculars alongside education, because it is university. I want to make sure that I'm getting both the education, but the experiences that make university what it is. So I love going outdoors, as we were mentioning, so I love going on hikes, things like that. I'm involved with the Students' Union as a course rep, and I work part-time. So I'm able to do all those things and still study, which has been great and has got me here.
So you're a busy lady?
Somewhat, yes.
And for all of the school pupils watching, if you could tell them one thing about why they should be studying pharmacy, what would it be?
I would definitely say if you want to pursue pharmacy, Northern Ireland is the place to be. The schools are some of the best in the UK. And the teaching is excellent. And for me personally, my course size is so small, so you really get to know all the classmates really well, and those are going to be your future colleagues. So what better way to meet your future colleagues than at school? And then the pharmacy community itself is so small and supportive, and I've had that experience when I've gone on placement at community in industry and within the hospital. But I think most of all, pharmacy specifically there's so many avenues that you can pursue with it. If you really love working with people, you can definitely go into hospital pharmacy, community pharmacy, GP. If maybe you're a bit more analytical, then you could go into the government and work in the government or in a pharmaceutical industry. If you're more creative, you could be a copywriter within a pharmaceutical industry, and there's even options to teach and practice at the same time. So you're never limited with what you do, and you can express your other interests that way. And I think most of all, regardless of which avenue you choose, you're always giving back to the community and improving people's lives in some way, shape, or form, and I think that's the most important part.
Well, I think you're going to be an unbelievable pharmacist. Thank you so much, Fatimah, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Roisin, thank you so much for joining us. You have quite a unique role as a teacher practitioner. Can you tell us a little bit about what that job actually entails?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so teacher practitioner, so I work as a pharmacist in practice, and my practice is in a hospital environment. So I work with patients, I welcome them to the hospital, we find out what medicines they're taking, we make decisions about what medicines they're going to need while they're with us and for going home. And I also work a great job where I work with undergraduate students as well. So I work across both Ulster University and Queen's University School of Pharmacy, and I teach the students in practice. So they come out to me and to other colleagues across Northern Ireland, and we teach them how to be a pharmacist. So this starts from first year right the way through to their fourth year of their degree, and they get to learn the basics of how to speak to patients, how to find out about their medicines, how to take their medicines better, and also obviously to work with other healthcare professionals. How are they going to do that? So they get to kind of learn on the job and integrate that with the knowledge they're learning at university.
So since you're a lady in the know, can you tell us a little bit about what universities are looking for from prospective students coming into pharmacy, particularly when it comes to grades and subject choices?
Yes, no problem at all. So both universities in Northern Ireland and probably across the UK are all looking for, you have to have chemistry at A level. And then apart from that, one other science subject. So that can be biology, maths or physics. Usually there's also a requirement to have biology at least to GCSE level, so or double award science. So that's something to consider. And then in relation to grades, we're looking for 2 A's and a B in Northern Ireland at both universities. So they are high grades, but it is a fantastic choice for somebody who's interested in science, and particularly those who are interested in chemistry.
Amazing. So I know you're very involved in making sure the degree course is really current and relevant and aligns with the life of a modern day pharmacist. So can you tell us a little bit about that and everything that you're doing to make that work?
No problem, yes. Well, basically, I think it's quite an exciting time for pharmacy. Pharmacy is evolving enormously really at the moment actually, and we're going to be developing prescribers, so that's going to be a big thing for the course of pharmacy. So you're going to graduate as a pharmacist and be a prescribing pharmacist at the same time, which usually is something that takes a little bit longer to happen after you graduate. So what that means is our undergraduates are going to have a lot of time in practice in a hospital environment, in community pharmacy and in GP practices where a lot of pharmacists are working, and they will spend a lot of time with patients. They'll spend a lot of time with other healthcare professional colleagues making decisions to improve patients' outcomes. So to make patients feel better, to make sure that we maximise their medicines that they're taking, and to find out really what problems patients are having with their medicines. So it's a really exciting time for us to make sure that we move away from spending so much time at university and with books and spend a lot more time with patients and really learning what we can do to make things better for them. So
loads of practical experience.
Yes,
that
basically.
sounds so exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing with us that insight into your totally unique job. I'm sure everybody watching in school has really enjoyed that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.